Sony doubling down on old school Sony Xbox handheld and the Xbox showcase. Why is that fan moving slowly over my head? I don't know. All that and more coming up.
You know, I realize that I'm not great at making these videos. I still haven't figured out how to get this sound to record in stereo. I know you're supposed to take the audio and then put it through this other program to make it sound great, and you're supposed to sit up straight and sound like you're selling a car on a game show in the 80s, but I don't want to do any of that. I want to talk about video games. So let's start out with the idea of a handheld Xbox in addition to another console. It is strange to me as somebody who owns an Xbox Series X. I got the S first because you couldn't get the X, and I like the design of the S better than the X, but clearly I want the big daddy. And no one's really buying the Xbox Series X or S anymore at any significant amount that makes it relevant to the video game console industry. Now, I can already hear people out there, consoles don't matter, they're dying. None of that's true. That's the battle cry of people who are way too dedicated to social media gaming. But why make another console and also spend to make a handheld after spending a gazillion dollars on studios that clearly aren't being managed very well, closing down one of the most talented studios that you have, let alone the only Japanese studio, and think that somehow people are going to buy a dedicated handheld made by Microsoft. So there's already the ROG, I think it's called the Ally, and then there's the Steam Deck. Most of these devices, like the Steam Deck, I know people don't like to hear this, but they are incredibly niche. It is not taking over. It is not ending consoles. The Switch isn't in trouble, and thanks Nintendo for cluing everyone into the joy of hybrid systems. Now everyone loves handhelds, but who is going to buy an Xbox handheld? You can already play Game Pass games on the ROG Ally, on a Steam Deck, on your phone with the little thing that connects to your phone to make it look like a handheld. You can already do that, so why would they create a dedicated device that they're creating and think that that is going to somehow sell to people who don't need hardware? In fact, Microsoft as a company has told people for countless years now that you don't need a console. The marketing around Starfield literally was no console required. And yet here we are now talking about dedicated hardware that's portable, and hopefully maybe that space leads to success. I don't see it. Let me know why you think it's a positive if you do in the comment section below. Help me understand it. I don't see it. Next up, we've got the Xbox Games Showcase. I have no idea what's going to be shown. I'm happy that I have no idea what's going to be shown. I'm not very interested in Xbox shows because 9 times out of 10 they're dedicated to something other than gaming. There's this weird sort of, it's almost like they're running for office when they come up with some of these slogans and these projects and these ideas. I want to see video games. I want to see great games. I'm not going to see exclusive games, obviously, even if they say they're Xbox exclusive. I don't think that means much anymore, especially when they're putting their games on other competing platforms, not just the PC. By the way, folks, games going to PC, console games going to PC, whether or not they're a year later or day and date, not going to hurt the console, especially if the console brand is strong and hasn't made terrible mistakes over and over and over again. Like PlayStation, they're going to be fine day and date, or a year from now, people are going to buy PlayStation 6s to play PlayStation games. The PC audience is completely different. There's a little bit of carryover, but it's not as big as you think. So, the Xbox Showcase, I'm just going to go into it completely and totally waiting to be disappointed. I know you're saying, you're a PlayStation fan, blah, blah. I want to be surprised. I want them to show me something like a Horizon Forbidden West. Give me a large open world with detail in it that is staggering, with a character that's kind of interesting. Aloy is not interesting. She is the most boring main protagonist ever in a game that's fantastic. Give me something like that, and I'll be happy. Shadow drop. They're talking about something shadow dropping. Hopefully that's a game that's good. Hopefully they don't say, oh, by the way, we're working on a handheld. I'm sure there will be an incredibly small market of people who are dedicated to Phil Spencer and Xbox that are going to go crazy. But overall, in the general scheme of things, I don't think an Xbox handheld helps Xbox at all, especially since the bigger side of the console space, the actual console, just isn't selling. Next up, Sony going full games as a service. All of their projects are going to be games as a service, and I've heard that. Disappointed by it. There's nothing I could do about it. I'm old. This is the new trend. Kids don't care. They want to run around with headsets on, do the same thing over and over and over again. They think that that's cool. What can you do? But Sony signaled that there is still that DNA of creativity, that DNA of surprise, and that culture of pushing things forward that not necessarily you would expect. And that is the platformer. The AAA platforming space is pretty much dead unless you're Nintendo, which happens to do it better than anyone else. But Sony with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, game was incredible, absolutely incredible. But who's doubling down right now in 2024 with a AAA brand new platforming game? And that is Astrobot. Called Astrobot because they are starting from scratch, building out this character, giving you the game packed in with every PlayStation 5, so everyone got a chance to play this game, get familiar with the mechanics and the character, and now what do? You take that and you make it into something fantastic. I'm super, super excited about that. And that is all I needed from Sony to signal to me that yes, all of these trends are invading gaming. Yes, they are going to chase the Fortnite mindless shooting things back and forth so that they can monetize idiots forever. But there's still something within Sony and PlayStation that allows for these great, great games and these great partnerships. So Stellar Blade happening on PlayStation because of the partnership. Rise of the Ronin, fantastic game happening because of partnerships. And internally, greenlighting Astrobot, a first-party team to push a AAA platformer, is a huge indication that yes, the creativity and the risk-taking and the excitement is still there with PlayStation. Let me know what you think about everything I talked about here. The Xbox handheld, the Xbox showcase in particular. Tell me why I'm either right or wrong about Xbox making a dedicated handheld. Tell me if you're excited about the Xbox showcase. Listen, after years, and I mean years, I was doing this stuff with BGST before any of these huge Xbox podcasters had their channels. So I don't know what to be excited about. Let me know in the comment section below. And also talk to me about Astrobot. Thanks for watching the video. This is the part where I say what everyone else says. And you know what that is. Like, subscribe, all that crap. So see you in the next one.